Lights, camera, action.
Hello and welcome to another movie review from MBE. We'd just like to thank you once again for joining us here on our YouTube channel and of course our Twitch stream. I'm one of your co-hosts, Stephen John McLaughlin, and the other co-host is John C. Walsh, and as ever, our good friend and Indian cinema advisor. You probably hate me for doing this, Ruth. It's Ruth Aaron.
She's
so
not
we're
just
here,
an Indian cinema
and we are
she's
talking.
all-round great knowledge in cinema.
We are talking about Pizza, of course. This is the film that we said we were going to do. We're going to do it, and this is directed by Karthik Subbaraj. I think that's how you say it. Probably butchering it once more.
Karthik Subbaraj.
And it's Vijay Sethupathi once again. Now, before I hand this over to you, John, before you take us through this review experience, I need to get this off my chest, and I know we're going to get into it in detail anyway, but I don't want anybody thinking out there, I don't like this film. I've got some issues with it, but overall, I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
Over to you, John.
Stephen, I think I get more out of this movie than you. I'm going to say that straight off the bat because I'm a fan of horror. And I tell you what, Karthik Subbaraj subverts expectations in this movie because I was not expecting a horror movie 30-40 minutes into this movie. I'm like, Jesus Christ, we've got a horror movie here. I enjoyed it. But look, ratings graphic. This is how I was like, what is that movie called? Is it Hercules? Disappointed. What was that? Rating system, I should have said, not graphic. F equals a terrible movie. Incidentally, this is how we grade our movies.
John, I
so
thought you
keep
actually
that in mind.
sounded like that chap it does Let's Get Ready to Rumble.
Let's get ready to rumble. Michael
the,
Buffer,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish, Stephen. We've seen him in the flesh. It was
Yeah.
a tremendous time. We won a treble. It was a special day.
Brownie Brown.
Scott Brownie Brown. F equals a terrible movie. D minus through plus equals an average movie. It's pretty it's explainable. You know, it should be reasonably easy to understand. It's average. C minus through plus is a good movie. Again, pretty easy to understand. A lot of good movies will be in there. A lot of MCU movies will be in there as well. B minus through plus equals excellent. I've said time and again, my all-time favourite movie. Cool Hand Luke goes into the top of this range just because I don't think it's a perfect movie. And that's why it's not in the perfect range. Not meaning it ain't a good movie. It's excellent. And finally, A is reserved for utter perfection. That is the most perfect movies ever crafted in the world of cinema. No matter where in the world they have been crafted, they belong in there. With that in mind, keep that in mind yourself when we get to the actual grading, because that's how we are going to slip this movie into one of those sections. That's how we're going to rate it. Final thoughts on the movie? Do we have any final thoughts?
The gun in the drawer was interesting because, you know, the part where the gun in the drawer, when the guy sends him up to... At that point, I'm thinking... Oh, maybe they're going to set him up, you know, because it's like, it kept me guessing throughout. It's like, oh, they wanted his fingerprints on the gun because the guy wants to kill, wants him to get the blame or something like that. And that's why he asks him to go and look for the keys and, you know, and then find the gun and then have his fingerprints on the gun or something like that.
That crossed my mind as well.
It just kept me,
I was thinking that as well, and then when the police showed up, I went, oh, he's going to get framed for this. This is horrendous.
Yeah.
It's little things like that really make the film well written, and it's all the little details that make the audience. Yeah, it makes you think, you know, and I think that's good writing in my book. Oh, sorry, John.
No, I was just going to say, because the synopsis says that just says it's a pizza delivery driver that gets himself in a horrible situation, embroiled. So you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if he's going to get framed. You don't know what's happening.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You know, but my final thoughts in the film is that you know, it was a well-written movie. It made you think throughout the film as well, as I mentioned. I probably missed half the film because I was overthinking it, but that's good writing in my book, you know. And I think when you've got such a limited cast and you've got one standout in Vijay Sethupathi, it doesn't make it a bad film. It makes it an even better film in my book if you're a Vijay Sethupathi fan. But I think the supporting cast did really well to support him in this film, and also you know, the horror elements for me, although I wasn't getting any reaction out of myself for those sort of jump scares, etc., it still kept me interested. The inconsistencies as well, with obviously his wife being included in the dead bodies, confused me a little bit. But that was then explained when it was all just a hoax. You know, he made this thing up. He's not the most reliable source for storytelling, although he's very detailed. You mentioned that bit about the phone waving it about, John. We saw it from a different perspective. That was very clever.
That's probably to put doubt in the actual other people's minds. Has he killed her? Does she even exist? He's making it up as he goes along here. Who is this character?
And I have to say, you know, after watching it, and I think as I was watching it, I did have my doubts. I was starting to think, if this is a horror film, I'll not get much out of it. But it was more than a horror film. It was psychological.
Yeah.
It was more a psychological thriller for me. That's what I got out of it, and it really did make me think. And the fact that they actually went back and sort of replayed all the scenes and how they meant something. They weren't just in there for the sake of it. They meant something. There wasn't any plot holes. This is a film I think I'll have to go back and watch maybe a few times to really, because I think I've probably missed a few things as well.
I'll let Ruth go next. I've not got much more to add to that. I'll just add a little bit more, but I'll let Ruth go. What's your final thoughts on this movie, Ruth? If you have any.
My final thoughts is that I absolutely loved it. I mean, there were no wasted scenes, and I absolutely loved the fact that, I mean, although they could have, like gone on for a bit more and showed that, I would have still loved it anyway. But I like the idea that it was short and concise, but it didn't feel short. It's like the way they structured it, right? It felt like it's like a full-length movie, that kind of thing, because the build-up of the suspense and everything. And I think yes, the ending was a bit more quick, but I think it needed to have that pace to kind of work off the slow pace of the time spent in the house and the whole build-up, and then to have that quick ending sequence where like everything just kind of laid out. So it was I thought very, very well put together. I love the cinematography, I love the music, I love the performances, and just the writing. Amazing writing. It had elements of all the horror genres and mystery suspense kind of thing together. It had elements of The Sixth Sense. It had elements of Others, with Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
It had that kind of element. Yeah. So it had that. It had all the kind of that natural, that usual suspects, and hustle kind of vibe to it as well. I loved it. Was so well put together. You can see I love the way I love Karthik Subbaraj's mind, the way he thinks, especially for someone so young. He's grown up with a lot of influences from Western as well as an Indian cinema, and I think he has married the two elements quite well, giving the Western element that a Western audience watching it also would probably feel, this is a movie worth watching kind of thing, but just enough of the Indian elements also together with it that even an Indian audience can really, get into the whole feel of the whole thing. I thought it was brilliantly executed.
Yeah, there's not many song and dance numbers in this. I think there's maybe one elongated sort of song sequence.
John, you said it yourself at the start of the review. You said it was more Western structured.
It really was more Western structured. Just the whole, I don't know, the running time and stuff. It was more like a Western movie. They've got an obsession with 2 hour movies over here for some reason. I don't know why. It's getting a little bit longer as the years go on. I think the likes of Kevin Feige realise you need a little bit more than 2 hours 15 to tell a story if you want to tell it right. So
at the pace with the Lord of the Rings, starting it off with the long movies, and then now I think they're embracing the idea a bit more. Yeah,
I mean, look, I'm not adverse to it. It means you can get out and watch a movie and really settle down. So I like a 3 hour movie.
John, I'll tell you something. We've not yet experienced an Indian movie in the cinema.
I would be
quite happy to sit in a cinema, a theatre that is, and watch a 3 hour movie.
I need to get another movie bag of popcorn. I'd have to bring 2 in.
Just be a great
experience. I can rattle one before the film even starts, because I'm a greedy yet. My final thoughts now, so I share much both your sentiments. I thought it was quite intelligently put together. It was a nice little thriller horror, but it had romantic elements at the start as well that I thought that was a movie, then it divulged into sort of horror and then into a thriller aspect. What the hell's going on? Where's this woman? They don't even know what's going on. And then it turns into an almost hustle kind of movie. I liked the way he dabbled with the different genres. You put Vijay Sethupathi into the movie, that's enough for me, because I just love the guy. I think he's a brilliant actor. I've not seen a bad movie with him. I knew this one wouldn't be bad either, because he is in it.
And Ruth recommended it.
So I trust Ruth's recommendations, because she usually knows what she's talking about when it comes to... Look, you hear her. You can listen to her firing out the knowledge with the movies there, man, the likes of Others. And Sixth Sense, you know what you're talking about, Ruth. So I trust you. That's what I'm saying. I knew it'd be good, and look, it was. It ticked all the boxes for me. I'm a fan of horror. I'm a fan of thrillers. I was sitting watching the Haunted House sort of sequence, thinking this is absolutely brilliant. Really like this. It was like 2 a.m. Sitting watching it. I went down to get a protein shake and something to eat, and came back up and just finished the movie. I was like, I quite enjoy this. So look, I don't think you can get a higher seal of approval from me than saying I went back down, get my protein shake and came back and resumed it, because that's not something I normally do. When I crank out the protein shake at night, that's usually me getting ready to go to my bed. So high praise indeed for Kafak Subarash, is that his name? I've remembered it. Look, Subarash, sorry. It's almost Serbian. It's quite a strange name, isn't it, for an Indian director or someone from India? It's almost like Germany, Serbian, Subarash. Yeah, you know what I mean? It almost sounds like a big imposing 6'5" centre-half playing for, I don't know, Union Berlin or something. Subarash. Ruth, do you want to go first with the rating? What are you rating this movie? I'll start with you for a change.
I kept going back and forth on this. I wasn't. I would probably give it a B.
A B.
Or then just shy of a B plus, but about a B. Yeah.
There you go. You gave it a B. Steve, I'm going to let you go next.
I'm going to give us a C plus.
C plus
for me.
Oh, you left us hanging there, Stephen. Oh, I'm fucking still on the screen here. I need to sort that. It's a shambles. Oh, it's a disgrace, this. And I tell you what, I'm going to give it a B as well, because I actually enjoyed it. I'm trying to find it. Come on, bitch. B! I gave it a B. I thought it was excellent. I like my horror movies, and I thought it was a really well put together, intelligent horror thriller movie. Stephen's not as a bigger fan of horror movies, so I think a C plus is high praise indeed for Stephen. Yeah, because you'd probably think you'd be very.
Because I saw above and beyond what the genre was. It wasn't just a horror film, you know. It was a psychological thriller. That's what I got out of it.
Yeah, I agree. But wait, that's going to round the review up. Harley is continuing to fart here, my dog. I don't know why I continue to allow this dog into the room as we review, because it's not good. It's like if I can try and impart smell-o-vision onto viewers, it's like overdone boiled eggs. It's not good. It's not good at all. But look, on that note, we're going to round the review up. What was your thoughts on the movie Pizza? What did you make about Kafak Subaraj? What did you make about Vijay Sethupathi? If you've got anything to say about any of that, the vibe going on in this movie or review, you can comment down below and let us know what your thoughts are down below in the comment section. And you can also like the video if you've enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel on YouTube, and hit the follow button over on Twitch if you want to see more content like this in the future. And you will get it. But look, until then, we're done. Catch you after. Bye bye.